Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast for another segment of 20 Random Questions. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and today's guest is a professional boxer out of Wisconsin. You guys might remember him from back in the day, you might not, but his name is Harry Funmaker.
Funmaker.
How you doing? Huh?
You say Funmaker?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I got it right.
You sure did.
So listen, how you doing?
I'm good there, John. Glad to be here.
I appreciate you taking time to come on the show. Anybody that followed Butterbean's career back in the day would have seen you in the ring, not one, not two, but 3 times. So we're going to talk about that in the interview. You've actually had a trilogy with Butterbean, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say it's crazy.
Well, most guys don't get back in the ring with him after once.
Yeah, right. Usually carry him out of the ring, and that's it.
So what have you been doing since you retired? Have you been involved in the sport of boxing at all? Do you still watch it?
Yeah, I was working with Carlos Molina. He was the 154-pound world champion, so I was able to help him along and do things for him and work with him. And, it was awesome being on a coaching staff. So I was doing that for about, 5-6 years. And going to Vegas was always fun. A lot of ESPN, a lot of HBO, Showtime, pay-per-view. It was all there. It was awesome. Nice ride.
So now have you been away from the gyms and away from the sport for a while now?
About 2 or 3 years I haven't been in the gym. But we're always looking for the next up and comer, though. Just keep my finger in there.
So you've been still watching it, though, right? So you're up on the latest boxers and things like that.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay. So you ready for these random 20 questions?
Yeah, let's do this, John.
All right, question 1. I don't want to talk about the boxing yet. I want the fans to understand. Tell me about your background and your upbringing a little bit, where you came from, siblings, parents, things like that before boxing.
Well, my background is Midwestern town, small town, Wisconsin Dells area. I got into boxing and fighting.
No, I don't want to talk about the boxing yet. I just want to about your upbringing and stuff, your siblings, things like that. We'll get into boxing in a minute.
Yeah, there's three brothers, 3 sisters. I was the second to the youngest. There's 7 of us, and it was like regular upbringing. My dad was the disciplinarian, and my mom was the nurturing type, and my dad was he was raised old school, traditional ways, and we didn't see any of his emotions, because it wasn't, that's how those old guys did things. And so that was like, it was a guessing game, but if we messed up, we definitely found out. So,
so coming from a Native American family, were you raised on a reservation?
I was raised on tribal land. It's technically, we never signed a treaty with the United States, so the Ho Chunk Nation is still at war with the United States, because we never signed a contract or that treaty. So, so us and the Seminoles are the only ones like that. We have what's known as these land parcels, 40 acres, and each family got one. So that's what they did. They couldn't catch us, so they couldn't round us all up and send us to a res. They tried, but it didn't work. We kept returning to our natural homelands, so they just gave up and said, "Okay, you guys go pick out your land, and you got it." So that's how that went.
Okay, so tell me how your nickname. Talk to me about your nickname and the meaning behind that.
Okay, yeah, it's called the Ho Chunk Hammer. This guy named Pete Susans, he was working for Top Rank. He gave me that name. He was my agent.
But what
And
does Ho Chunk mean though? What's the meaning behind that?
Ho Chunk is my tribe, and it's a Ho Chunk word that means people of the great voice.
Okay.
And since how that was my tribe, he thought it was fitting that I be the hammer. So they put the two together, and that was it.
All right. I got to get you to come back in the camera a little bit for me.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. All right.
Keep
So,
an eye on my boy.
all right. Question 2. How did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
All right. When I was a little guy, I was about, I don't know, 7 or 8. Came home with a bloody nose, and I was crying. I knew I was in trouble. My shirt was all bloody. I was feeling bad, not because I got punched in the nose, but because of what my dad would do if he saw the blood on my shirt. So when I got home, I was crying and told my mom what happened. And he said, well, we'll tell your dad. Let him know what happened. So then I did, and he didn't even get after me. He didn't know no thrashing or nothing. He just taught me how to fight. And after that, it was the love of boxing from then on.
So did he bring you to a gym then?
No, he didn't bring me to the gym. He just told me how to put my hands up and, don't turn the other cheek. He says, be first and be fast. So, so that's the way I did things.
So what made you end up going to the gym?
What was that?
Why did you end up at the gym? Why did you decide to go to the gym?
Oh, what brought me to the gym?
Yeah.
Well, I used to like watching Muhammad Ali, and I told myself that's what I want to do is be like Muhammad Ali, fight, be a fighter. So that's what was always the dream. So I went to a gym after I got out of the Marine Corps, and I started my career, and I ran into this guy. His name was Matt Boley. He was my original agent, my original manager. And he told me he wanted me to turn pro. And I was like, yeah, I want to turn pro too, but how do I do it? And then he says, well, I'm going to show you. So after that, I was committed to him and boxing.
You started pretty late though in your career. You didn't really start as a kid in the gym like a lot of guys do, right? You started after you got out of the service.
Yeah, I was 26 years old when I turned pro and retired when I was 49.
Okay. So you just brought up Muhammad Ali. So question 3 is, what boxers did inspire you in your career?
Say that again.
Question 3, what boxers did inspire you in your career?
Well, Muhammad Ali, Leon Spinks. Oh, let me see. Ray Leonard was a young Olympian. I was watching him quite a bit. Howard Davis. Oh, guys like that. Chavez. Julio Cesar Chavez. He was always a beast. I love watching him fight.
Okay. All right. Question 4. Did you have any hobbies outside the sport of boxing?
I sure did, but I sure didn't get to do them. Yeah, I used to love playing softball, basketball, just like bowling, all kinds of stuff, but I could never do it. I even wanted to learn how to ride a motorcycle, but they said, no way, you're under contract. You don't get to do that. So I had to comply.
All right. Question 5. So here we go. Tell me about your trilogy versus Butterbean. First, tell me how it got started.
All right. I seen Butterbean fight on the ESPN. No, wait. It was I think he was on an undercard of one of the Tyson fights, I think it was. Then I was like, man, I can beat this guy. And then everybody started laughing at me. Like, yeah, right. Yeah, you can't beat that guy. And I was like, man, I know I can. So I started talking to my agent, Pete Susans. I said, Pete, can you give me this guy? He goes, yeah, I can make that happen for you. Like, well, make it happen. So I waited a couple months, and sure as shit, I was on my way to Idaho, Boise, Idaho, at the Bank of America Center to go fight him. So anyway, we got on there, and I let it all hang out. I was like, man, this is the only time I'm going to get a shot at this, so I got to do it right. So I let him have it, give him everything I could, and I lost the decision, but it was a good fight. I thought it got on that fight. It was on ESPN Classics.
Yeah, you guys
So,
actually fought for a title though. The first fight.
what's that?
I said your first fight. You actually fought him for a title, right?
Yeah, that was a world championship title. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, I thought this was just a regular fight, but he put his title on the line. So I was pretty impressed.
So you lose to him in a decision. So how do you get the call back for a second fight?
It was from my tribe, the Ho Chunk Nation. They wanted to see it again. So I was like, I'll do it again. Hell yeah, I'll do it again. So we back in 2000 it was. 2000, yeah, it was a spring fight. Yeah, I think it was spring of 2000, I believe. So we fought again, and I lost the decision again. I got pencil whipped again. I was like, man, I beat this sucker. But he got a knockdown on me. I tell everybody it was a slip.
Was it really a knockdown?
Yeah, right. Especially in front of the home crowd.
But was it?
But anyway, after that, it just
was it really a knockdown? Do you think it was really a knockdown?
Yeah, it was. I'll be honest with you. I tell everybody else though, it's a slip.
No, do you honestly feel you lost the first fight and you won the second fight? Is that how you feel?
I feel that it was a draw on the first fight. I lost the second one, and that's where I had to keep going after him. It took me 10 years to get him, but I finally got him. So that was the third one. I knew I could always whip him. I always knew it.
Yeah, let's talk about that now. 10 years go by, and then how do you get a phone call, or how do you guys reach out for a third fight? How did that happen?
There was this promoter. His name is, what the heck was his name? Solomon Becerra. And he says, hey, do you want to fight Butterbean again? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll fight him. Fight him right now. Where is he? Go get him. I'll get him. I'll fight. So he said, all right, man, this is going to be it. And I was like, okay, put me on. So that's when it was down in Milwaukee. And he said that we'll give you the main event and you hurt this guy and finish your business with him. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I was lucky. I got the third fight. Even my trainer said, my trainer's name is Lou Escanet. The old timer, he says, Hammer, this is the last time. You better make it good because they ain't going to give you another shot at this guy. It's like, I believe you're right, Lou. So I knew I had to make it good.
So before they announced it, did you feel you won that third one? Were you sure you won it this time?
Heck yeah. I watched it a few times. I counted the punches, did all that stuff. Just made him fight my fight. And I kept him on the ropes. You know, I just just giving him the angles. That's all I was doing was angles.
So how did it feel to finally beat him, though?
Oh, Jesus. It was like almost a lifetime work trying to beat that clown. No, I'm just kidding. It was awesome. It's what I set out to do, and I finally achieved it. So,
but now what some of the fans might not know is you guys, because of that respect factor of you guys fighting 3 times, you guys are actually friends now, right?
Yeah, we're buds, man. Heck yeah. We're all right. We're pretty good.
I got to tell you something. I wanted to tell you this on air. He actually texted me right before this interview and told me to tell you hi, and that he wouldn't be able to come on the show because he's driving through Atlanta right now. But he told me that you're a great guy, and he just wanted to tell you hi on the air.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Eric's always been a true sportsman. Yeah, I admire that guy. You know, for him to, take me on for 3 times, I was truly grateful for that. You know, and he didn't have to, but he let it happen, and I beat him on top of that. So, like I say, he's a true sportsman. You know, I give him all the credit in the world. Take my hat off to him. a good guy. He's a good man.
Okay. All right. Question 6. Did you have any boxing superstitions when you fought?
Oh no, it's one of those kind of training things where I had to make my own luck, basically. If I was, wanted that win, wanted that fight, I had to train, work hard, and make my own luck. So that was my superstition, I believe.
Okay. All right. Question 7. So, what's your opinion on why um there's a lot of Native American amateur boxers, but not a lot of them turn professional? Why do you think that is?
Too much party, rock and roll, man. Nobody wants to get serious. I wish they'd turn pro because I seen a lot of them that a lot of talent. I watch them every now and again, and geez, but there's more. I think there's more women turning pro than guys that are turning pro.
Yeah, but do you think in the Native American culture that a lot of us outside the culture and the reservations, there's things that we're not aware of that keep them at home, that they don't want to leave the reservations? Is any of it like just so family oriented that they don't want to be off on their own? Is any of it like that?
No, I believe it's the deprivation of the there's like no nobody out there getting the word to them to empower them that there's a world out there that they can follow their dreams, that they can accomplish stuff, get stuff done that they always wanted to do. And I think that they're kind of lacking in that department.
So
So
do you
that's
think if there was more Native American managers and coaches and promoters that we would get more? Because I mean, here's what I don't understand is most of the fights take place in casinos, but then we
right.
don't have any Native American fighters on the cards.
No kidding, man. That's kind of a shame. I was up in Fond du Lac Res, and they had 3 natives heavyweights on top of it. And they were gutting it out and fighting. A couple of them lost, but still, I was proud to see that.
Well, have you ever thought about becoming maybe a manager and trying to, influence some of the Native American fighters and manage them maybe and get them on some cards?
Yeah, I would love to do that. Heck yeah, that would be awesome. I know how to train them. I trained a few of them, and they did really well in the Golden Gloves. We got a couple Golden Glove champs, and that was just working with them, building them up, watching them build their own charisma, and it was awesome. It was something I'll never forget. So and then the kid, he turned out all right. He turned really well, and never turned pro, but he said he wanted to. So there's some. I guess I just got to remember that not everybody wants to turn pro. I want them to, but sure, but it's just their own goals as far as taking boxing as far as it can go for them.
No, but I mean, there's guys like you that turned pro. There's guys like Marcus Oliveira. There's guys like Sean Hawk, all out of Wisconsin area, that they can see that made it and did something. And guys like you, I think if you guys talked to some more of them amateur fighters and told them, look, man, we did it. We took that leap. We were successful. And, and if they had guys like you guys to talk to and look up to and maybe manage them or promote them, maybe there would be more.
Yeah, I'd be game for that. I was talking to Joe Hip. He said he wanted to do something like that with me and go talk to these young people, get a little thing going on where we'd go around to each of these reses and talk to the young men and young women that want to go do something with boxing. So I'm game for that. I told them, let's go, man.
All right. That's good to hear. Joe Hip wants to get involved in that too.
Right.
All right. Well, listen, question 8. If you could have a conversation with any animal and it could talk back, what animal would you want to have a conversation with?
My brother Bear, because I'm a Bear Clan member.
Okay. All right. Question 9. What's something that you're very passionate about besides boxing?
Very passionate about my language, the Ho-Chunk language. I speak it, write it, and it opens up new doors to my identity, basically.
Okay. All right. Question 10. Can you tell me an interesting story out of your boxing career that a lot of people might not be familiar with?
Yeah, I remember the first time I fought Butterbean was on ESPN, ESPN2, and then it was like in the first round, and I seen his big hook coming, so I got out of the way of it, but I didn't get all the way out of the way of it. So part of it, when he slammed me in the chest, it man, that thing, it just like shook my whole skeleton all the way down to my feet. I remember that, and I was thinking. One of those damn things gets a hold of my chin. It's out. It lights out. So I always remember that being. Nobody ever hit me that hard. So
how was that first one when he did land one on your chin?
oh my god, I was like, I seen that flash of white. There's a big flash. And there was just a flash, and then boom. I was like, I opened my eyes up, and I was like, all right, I'm still standing. I better keep fighting.
All right. Question 11. So why did you box?
Why did I box? I boxed because wasn't too enthused with team sports, like leaving my destiny up to 5 or 6 other guys, or on a football team with what is it, 11 or 12. So I couldn't get along with my partners or my teammates, and I'd say, hurry up, why are you so slow? Or, I wasn't a good team player. So, in boxing, I have nobody else but me, so that's why I went for boxing.
Okay. All right. Question 12. Who was your favorite opponent that you fought?
Probably have to be our boy Butterbean. He's a fun guy, a good man.
Okay. Now, you fought a couple other big names though too.
Yeah, we got a hold of Orlin Norris, Peter McNeely. Let me see. I almost fought Tony Tubbs, but they pulled me on that. Let's see. There's a couple other ones too. It's been a while.
Yeah. Okay, question 13. So I know I'm probably going to get the same answer, but who was the hardest puncher you've ever faced in the ring in a fight or sparring?
Oh my God. Had to be between Butterbean and Joe Christian. Joe had a murderous right hand. Holy cow. It's like I say, you see that flash, just a big flash after he hits you, and then hopefully you're still standing. Butterbean was the same thing.
All right, question 14. If you had the ability to cure one disease, what disease would you choose to cure?
Cancer.
Okay. All right, question 15. Are you artistic in any way with your hands as far as building things, painting, drawing, photography, mechanics, anything like that?
Well, I work as a heavy equipment operator, so I like using my hands to make that machine do what I got to do. You know what I mean? So I like using my hands. I like getting up in the morning and going to work. So yeah, I look at it like it's not even really a job. It's more like my passion. It's it's been my dream to be a heavy equipment operator as well as a boxer. So
nice. So you got to live both.
Yeah, man. I feel very fortunate. Very grateful.
Question 16. What has been the biggest accomplishment in your life?
Just raising my kids, making sure they're happy. And, I heard one guy say that if one of your kids says that you're a good dad and you did good right by them, then, that's all it's about, basically is living a good life, being good to your kids, training them, talking to them, teaching them.
Okay. All right. Question 17. Do you believe in ghosts or aliens?
Do I believe in aliens?
Do you believe in ghosts or aliens?
And what kind of aliens? Say that again.
Do you believe in ghosts or aliens?
Oh yeah, sure. Ghosts. Yeah, that's part of our thing is to, I know they're out there. It's a being, and it's a spiritual world, and I believe that 90% of my boxing was 10%, and the rest was spiritual. 90% spiritual, travel and that journey. So I'm a big believer in the upper power and all that stuff. So I believe that there's some spirits. They're out there. They walk around with us. We don't know it. Maybe it's a different dimension. That's why we can't see them. But either way, they're there. That's the way I see it.
Okay. So then do you believe in aliens too then?
Aliens, I know they're there. And you can see the lights. It's a physical thing, and unexplained. So it's like another part of that is, Bigfoot. That's Bigfoot is a spirit. That's why they're never going to catch him. They think they're gonna, but they're not gonna. And that kind of goes along the same thing as aliens and UFOs and stuff.
Okay.
That makes sense.
No, I'm glad you elaborated on it. Question 18. So do you enjoy fishing and hunting at all?
Yeah, when I was a kid, that's all we used to do. A lot of hunting, a lot of fishing. And I had a friend of mine. He was up in Lac de Flambeau. He used to do that spearfishing all the time. That was pretty cool. I always liked how they did that. That was awesome.
So you don't do any fishing or hunting anymore?
Not anymore. I got to get back into it. I'm raising up my boy right now, and he's a handful. So he has to learn how to fish and hunt too. So I'm going to be teaching him.
Okay. All right. Question 19. So what is the craziest or the funniest story that ever happened between you and a boxing fan?
Oh my God. Let me see. Boxing fan. Oh, we was out in Idaho, and one of the fans was screaming at me. She was pissed, and she goes, "Butterbean's gonna kill you. You're dead, man," and all that. But after the fight was over, she was like, "Oh, you did a good job. I'm so proud of you. You made it through." Oh my God! She was, a couple of tears are squirting out of her eyes, and I was like, "Holy shit, man! It's quite a change from screaming at me and saying I'm a dead man to he was proud of me, and I'm glad I was alive." So yeah, that was.
So question 20. What is something that your boxing fans don't know about you?
What they don't know about me? Oh, let me see. I'm really a peaceful guy. I got to follow my my traditions as a old chunk man, and that I never had an amateur career. A lot of them think I had an outstanding amateur career, and I never had one. I never had a career at all, an amateur. I went right to the pros.
That's not bad, and they got to
So
fight.
a lot of them don't know that.
Yeah, you got to fight Butterbean 3 times. I said no amateur career. You got to fight Orland Norris. You got to fight Peter McNeely, and you got to fight Butterbean 3 times with no amateur career.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty impressive.
Hey, thank you.
Well, listen, I appreciate you taking time to come on and do the 20 random questions. If you want to say anything to anybody out there, including the fans, go ahead.
Fans, this is an awesome podcast. Stay in touch, and this guy will bring you the news and the latest and the greatest. And all that stuff, and it was an honor to be on this podcast. And I want to thank you for that honor, John. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
If you ever need me for anything, just come let me know.
Thank you for coming on and talking about your experiences with Butterbean and your career and stuff. We appreciate it.
You bet. Anytime, partner. I'll be here. You ever want to talk to me, just let me know.
All right. Hold on. And the truth has spoken.
All right.